This is the output panel of the PowerWave. So the label already shows it. PowerWave can generate 250 kV, 250 kilowatt in AC 360 volt with 236 amps max, and from 0 to 1000 hertz. It's the full bandwidth, and it can even go to higher frequencies at like reduced signal. And in DC, it can generate up to 1500 volt DC in the so-called series or high voltage mode, and up to 1000 amps in the parallel or low range. Please also read the safety instruction here before you open it. You really have to make sure that there's absolutely no voltage present at the mains input, so disconnect the main breaker, as well as from the EUT side. So if you have an EUT connected, like a test object, like a battery or a generator, there can be even dangerous voltage coming from the test object. So please make sure that the test object is switched off and disconnected as well. So I'm going to open up the cover here. So there are a couple of screws around here. I just left the last one here. I'm going to open it. And then you can take off the cover here. Like this. And now you can see we have the output connectors. They are named A, B, C, D. The reason is that depending on the operating mode, the voltage is present at different terminals. So for example, in the three-phase AC mode, D is the neutral point, and A is phase 1, B phase 2, and C phase 3. But if you're, for example, working in the high voltage DC mode, you get the voltage between terminal A and D, as well as in the parallel, so the low range mode up to 1000 amps, you get actually the 500 volt, 1000 amps between A and D. And this explains also that the A and D connectors, so where we get the high current output, are also bigger, so because they're dimensioned to carry the 1000 amps. These are massive copper connectors, as you can see it. It's quite simple, so there's just a holes in it to use the M12 screws, and you can basically connect any cable with some through this flexible hole connection type. Yeah, so if you want to connect your EUT or maybe also some connection panel, you just simply connect or screw your cable to these output connectors, and really just please make sure that you connect to the right terminals depending on the operating mode. What we also supply optionally to the PowerWave, but you could also build it on your own, is the so-called connection cabinets. So the connection cabinet is an additional cabinet which then splits the output into separate AC and DC outputs. So it's very convenient if you do a lot of testing, like in a lab, for example, and you want to have specific connection points for AC or DC. That's the optionally available connection cabinets. Yeah, besides that, I think it's pretty straightforward. So connect the cable here. Once they're all tightened correctly, you just simply put back the cover. Put back all the screws, and then you're all set up for testing.